Why am I not showing up? There we go. That's better. Hey, now you can see me. Yay! Hi, guys.
Fantastic.
Welcome to whatever craziness it is that we offer you today. I actually don't remember if I got the right password punched in here, so we're about to find out. Yay! Um, Hi, and welcome to another installment of the craziness that is Windy J's D&D Guild. We are diving straight in. Hello, Dak in the chat. Good to see you. We've got ourselves our Witchlight campaign. For those of you who are familiar with it, um, you may have been watching some of the other players in our guild playing it in their own channels, like Sky's got a Witchlight game going on. And of course, we like to raid Phoenix quite a bit. He's got a Witchlight game, which is interesting. I've been watching that, and their group is pretty much at the exact same spot that ours is. So here's kind of where we pick up. At the moment, we have for ourselves the regular crew, as it were. The regular crew, including Dottie, played by Caffeine, Scraggs, played by Carney, and Erevis, played by Ender. And the three of them had a little bit of a challenge over the past few days, we'll say. You see, they were blown out of Yawn by way of a wayward tornado. The tornado set them back. Thankfully, they were able to come across Nib back in Thither, where they were able to procure for themselves a few more magical artifacts. So, wasn't all bad, except for the fact that they were also in the middle of trying to broker negotiations between magical-haired folk called Korid and magically small folk who like to put people to sleep in their minds called Briganok. And both of these two groups had a hate on for each other. And our party, the Red Brands, thought that they might be able to broker peace between them and maybe even enlist them to help out with dealing with the hags, which they know of three. Bavlorna Blightstraw, who they met back in Hither. Granny Nightshade, as they know her, who lived back in Thither. Both of them have now left those realms, presumably to be with the sister that our party knows about, who they now know is referred to oftentimes as Bitter End. Now, they also know that the place that they're currently in, that Inn Yawn, it's kind of a dark and foreboding place. It is mountainous, difficult to traverse, and what's worse, there's no sunlight. There's nothing but cloud and lightning bolts jumping from mountaintop to mountaintop. And it just seems it's very difficult to sleep in that kind of area. Nonetheless, our party has certainly tried on a number of occasions. The 3 is the number of the hags, not 2 or 4, and 5 is tight out according to Dak in the chat. Yeah. Nonetheless, they have now made their way back to Yawn, which is to their benefit, as Yawn is where everything's happening. So they get back to Yawn, they find the Koreds, and have started to bring one of the Koreds, the Kored Queen, as it were, along with them back towards the Briganok Caves, which is where they anticipate everything to be happening. So, we see. Is there anything you guys need to do before you guys get all the way back to the caves, I guess? I'll ask that real quick.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's go with the standard rules. Let's start ourselves off with a perception check. This time it's going to be from Erevis, because Erevis always seems to be the one who keeps scout. And I got to pull up my rolls up here real quick. I just realized that the rolls weren't showing up on the screen. So I'll get them up here like right now. That'll do the trick.
Ooh, good one. 21.
Nice. Yeah, so you guys are, again, scrambling some of the different directions, or some of the different spaces here to get back to the Briganok mine. And Erevis, keeping watch and trying to be a scientist, slightly, kind of also keeping his eye out for goats. Also, definitely looking for some goats. Nothing seems to get in the way of your travel. Nothing seems to be completely untoward. However, as you get closer to the Briganock mine, which you already know about and know where it is, what you see at the Briganock mine is somewhat unexpected. That at the Briganock mine, you see at the very entrance of the Briganock mine, beside all the Korred statues that were supposedly in foreboding positions pointing at the entrance to it to try to scare off the Briganock, as it were. What you see there are a number of people already gathered. The first thing you notice there is a pony with some, rather than just simply a saddle and a person on the pony, it almost looks like a small hut on the back of the pony. And you immediately recognize this as that interim leader of the Briganock's home, already up and out of the cave. But beside him, there are still even more people. You see people that you thought you lost in the tornado. You thought you lost Gleam, the very uniquely attired elf. You see what you think might still be Amador, although Amador had a lot more yellow petals on his head last time you saw him. Immediately connect that perhaps to what tornadoes can do to dandelions. But you also see Morgan. Morgan. That's not the right name. That's somebody else's name. DMs and names. Hang on, that's not the right name. Molliver. That's the name. Molliver,
Yes.
who was your liaison between yourselves and the Briganock in the first place. But there are two more people that you see here as well. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to just quickly get some things going here. Where am I looking here? Let's get this person up on the stream right now. This person is not showing. Why is it not showing up? Oh, I know why. Because I have to do that. There we go. There you go. I'd like to introduce you to one of our new players. This is Jay. Why don't you introduce to us Vulric? It is.
There he is.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, and you're seeing this from a bit of a distance, but he's not. He's kind of. They're kind of wearing their heart on their shoulders, so it's pretty easily seen from here. And
Okay.
I think what we'll do now is we'll also introduce the other character that you guys see here. And so, Erebus, you will recognize. Well, actually, will you recognize? Let's do this.
Shimo!
Wait.
Is there anything different about you that they should notice? Oh, why is that? There, solved. I was looking at the wrong screen. No, I'm
Sorry.
glad you said that. Thank you. I was all happy about my grand reveal and I screwed it up. Shimo, what do they see? There was a grand reveal for the players, but not for this chat. Ah! That's what I have to say about that. Shimo, anything new that they may have not seen the last time they saw you? Shimo is
Shimo
muted.
is
Oh,
muted.
muted. There we go. Solved. Try again.
For us, it's not working.
Okay, I turned you on. I don't know why.
Shimo not.
There! Oh, you were clicked on for a
had him
second.
for a second.
I don't know what's going on. There you are.
So, am I good?
Yes! Oh, I love technology. Okay, we're good now.
When it
Go for
works.
it.
Well, Shimo, not connected to the material world, has gathered no additional items, has changed his hair no differently. He's still completely a shaved head with a long Fu Manchu coming down. And what but he seems to glow in his eyes and his demeanor now, brighter than ever before, almost soaked in Yunril's light.
Very nice. And so
Now,
as you
I
go
have
ahead,
met Shimo before.
you had a small battle against a hag with him before.
All right. So I'm going to return to the group, and if I'm scouting and seeing this, and say, I have some good news and bad news. First thing is that I think Shimo is back. I think I saw him with the Briganox, though he is a little bit brighter and not in the mind sense. But I also saw a dangerous-looking fellow who looked ready for battle. We may have to kill them.
Dottie just takes off running to find Shimo.
Okay, so before we get to fully to this reunion, we're going to do a little bit of a story explanation here for you too. This is for Vulric and for Shimo. The two of you guys,
Immediately out to kill.
the two of you guys were already relatively well acquainted with the reason you got back here. What I will say for you, of course, in addition though, is, and actually I'm just going to make sure that I actually told everything to you here too. What was the last thing I filled you in on? Yeah. Okay. So basically, your past few days have been somewhat interesting as well. So, what you guys had decided to leave hither and try to relocate the rest of Shimo's friends, and provide aid in dealing with the hag threat that you guys now have kind of convinced yourselves is kind of a big deal. And so getting all the way out to part way through thither, you ended up running across a large tree that seemed to have a whole bunch of children hanging out in the tree. It looked as though this group of children were actually being watched over by a dwarf who you learned, who did most of the talking with, Elkhorn, who also gave you the indication that your party was further northward towards what would be known as Yon. And along your way, using the very poor directions that you got from Elkhorn, you happen to witness, blistering past you, probably about a mile away, a tornado just kind of went flying past you guys, going the opposite direction from you. And flying out of the tornado nearby you were two forms. So for safety's sake, and because Shimo really likes sharing the light of Yunlil, Shimo led, and Valric, you guys found two creatures, an elf. Interesting feature about this particular elf, all darkly clad, but also casting no shadow. Didn't matter where the light was, and it is very light and sunny and thither, so Shimo, you immediately feel connected. But there was no shadow being cast by this individual. The other individual, a dandelion, or at least he used to be a dandelion. Now he's very much just kind of a dandelion stalk, as all the petals have been kind of torn from his head. He's feeling very depressed, although very glad to see extra company. You know him as Amador, the dandelion. The other reason why he's depressed is because he keeps complaining about not being able to find his bee. His bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
His bumblebee, yes.
Wait, did I have that?
Nope.
Okay, because I remember having it in my pocket at one point.
Did I pick up a bee?
Did I steal a bee?
I had them in my pocket at one point. I remember that, but
Did I keep a bee hostage? Is that something I did?
I feel like
So it's the
Wouldn't put it
two
past
of you managed to learn a little bit more about what was going on after making sure that they were actually okay. You managed to learn a little bit more about what they were most recently doing, and you discovered that they had also been with your party very recently, like that evening. the previous evening. And so the best solution you guys came up with was to go back to what it was your party was doing and wait for them. And so the elf and the dandelion, poorly but eventually guided you back to Yon through a fog, to get to this very dark place. It all mountainous, lightning every time you look up and out and about. There's not much of Yunlil, nor is there much of Reliquew here. Although you do actually, I will say, Shimo, that you will feel a little bit more connected, particularly to the elf. Gleam is her name. As part of her outfit is that she actually has this crescent moon mask. But they guide you back to a place called the Briganock Mine. Now for this one, Volric, I'm going to get you to roll for me your very first roll. This is going to be a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
This decides everything.
I'm already terrified.
Perfect. That's my job as the DM. With a 5,
Nice.
Gleam and Amador both forgot to tell you about what the Briganock do. And so as you entered into the Briganock mine, a little ways in, all of a sudden, Shimo, you watched as Volric falls just randomly asleep in the middle of the tunnel to the mines.
Can I immediately jump over and start going, Volric, don't leave me?
You're gonna smack him around to do that? I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I gotta get Scrags back on here. So, I love the background, Scrags. That's fun. Okay. In any case, yeah, you could start smacking him around. He does not wake, and I'm gonna carry this storyline forward just a little bit. Despite your best efforts, and the reason, perhaps what you should also know is kind of the reason why this happens in the first place. As you guys are coming down into the mines, you start to hear some of the tinkering and the sounds of hammers and pickaxes on stone. It kind of paused for a moment, and then it started up again. And about 10 minutes later, that's when Volric fell asleep. And while you're trying feverishly to get him to wake up, Gleam and Amador are like, oh yes, right. Specifically, Gleam tells you, right, we forgot to tell you, the Briganocks put people to sleep who can be put to sleep. And you being elven in nature can't.
Convenience for me, but not for my companion.
Not so much for the air genasi, no, that's true. So, after a couple of moments, Gleam kind of stops somebody further down the mine from you and then brings them up to you where you are introduced to Molliver, a human adventurer sort who has been gifted with the voice of the Briganock. That's not true. It's not really. She just talks for them. There's no special magical feature to it. It's just she's their liaison, and so through her you learn that the Briganock were supposed to be meeting with Koreds who they hate, thanks to your friends, and your friends and the Koreds stood them up. And so therefore you decided that you were going to try to convince them to give it another try. And sure enough, this second try, is kind of getting to the end. Like Molliver is losing her patience. She went back into the mine to collect the leader of the Briganock, Obud, and Obud moves everywhere, seemingly on his pony. Which, after you see these Briganock, you realize why the tunnels are. You realize the tunnels, first of all, are way too big for a Briganock. Briganock are like that big. They can sit inside your pocket with comfort and ease, and they look like little rat creatures that are bipedal instead, with most of them with little white mustaches sitting underneath their noses. but they also seem to be very good with their hands in terms of manual labor. But this particular Brignock brings up a pony that he lives on, and now you get why the tunnels are as big as they are, is because the pony needs space. And so you bring the pony, Molliver, Gleam, Amador, Vulric, and Shimo all sit outside waiting for a guest they don't know will come. When they see around a mountain Dottie Glitter Trick in full pace.
Buddy.
Shimo! And then I'm just gonna try to tackle Shimo, but knowing it
I
won't
am
work.
Shimo's just gonna like grab and pick up Dottie.
I like immediately
Alright.
have like an arrow
How have you
knocked, like ready
been?
to shoot, and then like Shimo picks her up, and I'm like, oh right, okay,
Yeah. Were you gonna kill me?
perhaps.
Erebus said we might have to kill somebody. Was it you?
Who?
And
Oh,
Molliver,
my friend.
Molliver is going to speak with us. Might be me.
Oh, no. No, you're a friend.
Loosely used.
Yeah, friends don't shoot friends. Right?
Still holding Dottie, I'm going to say, I think it's unnecessary for any of us to shoot anyone at this exact second.
True.
I'm going to get as close as I can to Shimo before being revealed.
Perception checks, please, Shimo.
Does my passive 16 see it?
Yeah, it will see it.
Meet the. All right. You see him trying to stay to the side, and
My
as
arrow from Dottie slowly tilts.
Nope. Still no shooting. It's still not yet necessary. I've fought along with him as well.
It is a pleasure to meet you again. My name, to those new here, is Erebus the Shy, as you can probably tell. This, and I'll hold up Scrags. Is
Hold up, Scrags.
I'll just pull him up and say,
Scrags has no say in the fact.
Yep.
No, poor lab.
And
Scrags is
say,
there. Scrags can
This
say
is
whatever they
our-
want.
This is our Scrags, and put him down.
I'm not talking with him. He abandoned me.
He has had abandonment issues for a while.
Scrags.
That's not
Me?
my Shimo. That's an imposter. I'll start trying to take the beard off.
They tried to
Nice
leave us
one,
after I fireballed them again, too, so don't feel bad.
Twice.
Scrags, please, it's attached. You're hurting me.
Oh yeah, she did fireball us while you were with us, and then fireballed us again when
Yeah.
you weren't.
It was
My
fun. We
God.
caused a forest fire.
Why do I feel like that these people are going to end up with more deaths than actual friends?
Well, I've yet to see
So
any of
something.
them die yet, but it seems you have a missing companion.
He's just slow. Do you see the
Elred
last,
is-
Elred?
Elred will appear a little bit behind. Good to see you again, Shimo.
Elred, excellent. I was worried.
And in your head, you hear, "Who's your friend?"
And I respond with, "This is Volric. No reason to be scared." Or, there's a few reasons, but
I'm just going to go with you on that.
What's with the gust of air standing over there?
this is my companion, Volric. He's a stoic young fellow, is a good companion to me. And please, do not attack. Might I iterate? No kill.
Is he talking to us or the Air Genasi?
Might be actually talking almost more to Molliver, actually, because Molliver looks really, really put out right now.
Before our reunion continues, might I tell the story of what took us so long before Molliver molves all over? Well, we were on our way to the what are they called? Colreds. And just so happens we were lifted by a tornado, and I know might sound crazy, but we were lifted by a tornado and thrown to thither. That's it. And we were rushed back. We were thrown all the way to thither. Though I did leave a note that you were here with the dwarven friend, or at least I tried. He had moved locations.
Molliver's kind of just standing watch beside the pony with her arms fully at a cross. And for the Shimo, who's got probably the best perception of everybody. Yes, Sky, who's asking questions in the chat. Lifted by a tornado, as in a la Kansas, but not actually from Kansas. This one came from Yon. And just Dorothy'd them to a different place in thither. And actually, interesting point, now that we get the full story, it also Dorothy'd Gleam and Amador nearby Shima and Volric, and so that's why Shima and Volric were able to get here first. Barely, but first. Nonetheless, with your passive wisdom, Shimo, you do see Gleam, or not Gleam, sorry, Molliver's got her hand on her weapon's hilt. Not drawing it, just there, underneath the crossed arms.
Molliver, I can confirm this. They were thrown thither, not hither. I was not sure whither.
Oh, the lowest form of humor. Fine.
Do we take psychic damage?
I could reiterate it in song.
And what
Please
happens coming out? Oh, by the way, Shimo, you don't have your flute.
Oh,
Oh, I don't have my flute?
You gave
No,
it
you
to
don't have your flute.
Dottie.
It was a
Oh,
nat
yeah.
20 on the persuasion check that meant that you gave the flute to Dottie. So Dottie still has your flute.
Well,
Nonetheless,
she doesn't
which is
anymore,
Looking
does she?
for this?
which is also why I allowed the persuasion check to get Molliver out here again in the first place to happen. Because if you had your flute, it wouldn't have succeeded. But the what happened? You guys, as Molliver is still sitting there with her hand on her hilt, groaning at the absolute horrendous nature of your pun. To out of the little hut that's on the back of the pony comes this little rat-like creature, stepping out. Okay, Molliver, that's quite enough. We're here for some negotiations. What have you got? There's more of everybody else than I imagine many of the Koreds and Breganok that would have showed up today.
Just a few hours ago, we got back and we told the Briganox to come, and then we rushed here.
You mean the Koreds?
That's what yes.
You don't want us mix up
Already
Koreds with
off.
Breganok.
Already off
Probably
to a
true.
brilliant start, I have to say.
It's kind of impressive. Are you made of air? I just start poking.
I will rip off your hand.
The whole
At
hand.
this point,
Oh, wow.
At this point, I'm going to set Dottie down and kind of like stand between them.
Dottie's just glaring down.
And
The newcomer.
and just to be clear, Shimo, there is something very
I will.
specifically different with Dottie. Dottie, what does Shimo notice differently about you?
So you notice that you can barely see her eyes because she has a pink beanie over her head. And you get the sense that she has no hair underneath anymore. And she's trying to cover it up with a beanie version of her hair.
I'm just gonna pat her on the head and be like, something's changed.
Yeah, the hag, I think, cursed me and made me cubald. It was fun.
Well, I'm going to miss
I
your
matched you!
locks. Oh, that's why you did it. Oh, I understand now. Thank you, thank you.
It seems that you have a little admirer.
Do you want your flute back, by the way?
Mm, I still think it belongs to you,
Really?
really. As
I mean,
long
I
as
do
you
play it
with
better.
your heart.
Okay. I'll hold on to it for now.
I'll pull out the little oil can. I can't remember what his name is again.
Squirt.
Squirt. And I'll point him to Shimo and say, Squirt, that's the one that I told you about. That was me ex-best friend. And then I'll point to the Air Genasi and say, and stay away from this one. He's trouble.
Oh,
Trouble?
You say that about all our new companions. I'm sure he's absolutely a.
Excuse me, I was right about you.
Oh, sure.
Listen.
What is happening here?
And the oil can that you see this small. So Scrags, quickly describe what you appear like, so that Volric gets this too.
You see a cloak that covers face, head, the entire body, and it's a black kind of cloak with a cowl. And then for some reason, there's also a green cloak over that. No idea why. And yeah, you don't see a face, you don't see anything. You just see little claws coming out from underneath the cloak. Very small. He could be a very small warforged, or he could be a very, very tall pixie. You don't know.
And in their hand, you see this little oil can with the lid kind of squeaking. He says, "I know trouble when they walk in." And
That's right. Squirt, you sticks with me. I'll set you right.
Scrags, please. No amount of cloth could replace you in my heart.
What in the seven hells is happening here?
You abandoned me. You left me with that one. And I'll point to Elred. And then
I'll,
this one came along and point to Erebus.
I'll
Why did you
approach
do it?
the Air Genasi and say, "How long have you been in the Feywild for, my friend?"
Roughly around a week, but I'm regretting every passing second.
now, I'm going to let that. I'm just going to give you a heads up. In this realm, or in the realm you're from, they don't go by weeks. They go by what's called Elven days. And so, in this particular case, it will have been about an Elven day. So we'll just keep it going. But I'm trying to teach lore. There we go.
Elven Day, writing down.
There you go. Okay.
Well, about an Elven day, that's long enough to make you mad for some, but I'm sure you'll make it through as long as you ignore all logic and try your best.
And I forgot, Erebus, you're from a different realm, so you like to call them 10 days.
I'm sure I've learned a lot of different naming conventions
Probably.
for time.
So at this point in time, Elred will actually just kind of push his way up and, towards Molliver and say, "You'll have to forgive my friends. It's been a long time since they've seen each other. Can you just give us a moment? The Queen's around the corner, and this has to happen first, so that we can actually honestly get shit done." And Molliver looks to Elred. Yeah. And just kind of turns and starts having a hushed conversation with the Briganock that's on the back of the pony. Such a strange thing to have happen, Scrags, in the middle of a stream. Scrags, my dog is chewing on my socks and growling at me, and I'm nervous he'll bite my leg off. Maybe he senses the oil can? I don't know.
jealous.
Scrag.
I'm muting myself to avoid the growling because he's just starting to keep on growling. So
Oh, jeepers. All right. The joys of interplanar or international role-play games. Okay, so you guys see Gleam and Amador are basically just kind of standing back. Amador, now for your part, Aravis, Dottie, and Scrags, you guys do see what remains now of Amador, but no B.
Oh, Amador, we can make you a little beanie.
Can I revive?
You have
I'll
to
start running around weeping, looking for the bee.
you have to find her first. I don't know where
Who
she
stole
is.
her? It was you. I'll point directly to Shimo. You stole it.
No,
Could you?
no,
No.
he didn't.
I'm in an accusatory mood after my best friend just appeared back out of nowhere without even writing me a postcard.
I feel like I need to get you a muzzle.
Molliver says, "I think I like you."
Can you do that? Wait, is that a possibility?
Not my Scrags. Dare you not?
If you muzzle me, I'll spirit guardians you all.
Obviously, you haven't been traveling with him for a while. Anyway, if we're going to find this bee, we got to get this negotiation done with. Is there any other information these two should know? Oh, yes, probably the main objective. These hags that we've been tracking and facing off against and, have been trying to kill us. We drove one out of its home at Hither. We drove another out of its home by burning it to the ground in Thither. We've killed none of them. And we believe they're gathering at Bitter End.
Motherhorn.
Here. Motherhorn? Oh.
This is the Breganok that's being Motherhorn. You've got all three at Motherhorn.
But wait, I thought they were all at the house.
Bitter
What's the
End.
name of the house place?
You mean the Palace of Heart's
Well-
Desire? No, they won't be there. They'll meet up with Bitter End.
Mm-hmm. Wait,
And
Bitter
yes,
End is a
Bitter End, I
person.
thought it was a
Burn
Bitter
their home down thither.
And it just
It's-
as
All these
as
titles.
everybody starts kind of clamoring for conversation. It's all these E names. It's Elred who kind of almost shouts in everybody's heads. Shh! One at a time.
Okay, I'm not going to get used to that anytime soon.
And then he looks to you, Valric, and says, "I'm sorry that I tried to ask first, but I needed y'all to shut up so that we could get something done here."
All right. Dottie's the queen, so she can talk first.
What? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Can I be a queen if I'm bald?
I don't think
I don't
that's
think
in
those
the
two
job
go hand
description.
in hand, love.
Behind you, kind of tugging on your, just kind of tapping you on the shoulder, is the first time that you have seen one of the Korets who's been kind of inching themselves up in statue form to the conversation. She's, well, if you could be a queen, if I can be a queen with dancing hair, I'm sure you could be a queen with none.
Yay!
Queen
Well, thank you
Argansel,
very much.
you're at my service.
Well,
Uh,
I'm a queen
I'll
too,
lean in
so we're
and
at each other's
whisper, how
service.
long were you thinking of that one?
I've been playing chess my whole life.
Quite poorly, I can assume.
We does have a very important task as well. We've got to find a beekeeper. He's scuttling around here somewhere.
All
We
right.
made a
I
promise.
think we need to do the diplomacy first and beekeeping second, but you are correct.
Well,
The Briganock and Molliver both seem to be a little bit on guard now that they see Queen Argantel beside Dottie. And the Briganock says, "Well, what of it?" Just looking at Argantel. And Queen Argantel just kind of looks to you, Dottie, eye level, because you guys are both about the same height. Just, you said you could do this.
Yeah. Let's do some introductions. We'll all introduce ourselves. Oh, I have I pull out of my pouch. It's just a wand that doesn't work, but I have a feeling stick, and whoever has it is the one who's going to talk.
Okay, I want you to roll
Okay.
for me a 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go with a D10.
Nice.
3.
Vulric, as she whips this little stick around, Vulric, you are really irritated already enough because this is slightly overwhelming having all these people here in the first place, and well, it's you, but you also can't help but notice, despite everything. Actually, before we do this, maybe I should get you to roll just to see how it goes. Hang on. I gotta do one quick little look here. One tiny little look at my lovely resources. I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
Saving
Fuck!
throw.
With my -2. No, 9.
It doesn't work.
And immediately the corners of your lips start to creep up and up and up and up into an uncontrollable smile.
He goes from to
Oh shit, that's my wand of smiles. Let me get something else out.
I don't know. That would be
I am
quite interesting.
Okay, we'll keep it.
I am unbelievably furious right
That's his
now.
smile.
Funny, Genasi. Or should I say funny
Weird
cloud?
dog thing.
So
Weird dog thing.
I'm
I
a
will-
dog. I'm a human.
Cat.
Oh man.
So, Dottie, what are you saying
who is-
with your feelings?
I will introduce them to each other. So it'll be like Queen can you help
Argantel.
me Argantel, this is Molliver and also the leader of the Briganots.
Oh, bud.
Obed. And Molliver and Obed. This is Queen Argantel.
And does your hair do things too? And Argantel's no more than your hands, as I am told.
Yo.
I will take the talking stick from Dottie. We are gathered here today to mediate the disputes between the Briganox of the Honorable Mine, and as I point to it, and the co-reds of the Honorable over there. Like a few miles over there. Anyway.
I love the naming convention of this place.
And
Queen Argantel will quickly speak up and say, "It's called Lockbury Henge."
that.
Over there.
And the Biganock mine is called the Biganock mine, as so far as I've been told.
Did you just
I don't
read
know.
what Sky wrote?
What? Wait.
Sky just wrote, the size of the stick doesn't matter. At least that's what Dottie claims.
Oh my god.
This is our
Wrong
chat.
party, Sky.
Loric, this is our chat, okay? Just...
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
anyway.
And we're here to mediate and bring to light the truth of the fact that the Co-Reds said that the Briganox were working for the Hags, and the Briganox said the Co-Reds were working for the Hags, and both of them believe that to be true. Neither of which seem to be working for the Hags. However, both of which seem to be helping out the Hags, given their resources. And so obviously this is untrue. And we must bring this to light and mediate some misunderstandings between the two groups. I vote for the Briganock leader to start, and I will hand him the smiling stick.
And the stick just kind of goes...
I'll give it to the pony.
Yeah, he just kind of helps lay it across the pony a little bit in front of him. He's basically standing on his
Starts
doorstep
chewing on it.
and
Yeah.
kind of looks. He says, "I am not the actual leader of the Break and Knock." And immediately Argonta says, "Well, then why are you?" Sorry. Talking stick. And the Briganock just kind of does her little frown back. And
High five, Dottie.
I'm standing in as ours has been taken by Bitter End. And so I hope you understand. Oh, bud, by the way. But I hope you understand that when we say we're not working with the Hags, it's because whatever we have to do is what we need to do to get our friend back. Chat. We haven't done this for a hot second.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
terrified.
Oh, that's not the way I want to do this. I got to change one tiny thing in here. I need, so it's, you don't put the space in it anymore. I did a little bit of a change. We're using stream elements now. But chat, I am going to get you to do a quick little roll for me.
That better be high rollers tonight.
Yeah, so chat, if you roll, there it is. Victionator just did it. An 11 on the dice. Okay. And all Oba does is say that and passes the stick to Molliver. And Molliver says, I'm here to protect them. And then just passes the stick over to Volric, who she has now kind of oriented herself around.
Hello, I'm Bulwark. I have the stick, and I think everyone here is equally on the same level of stupid. And then I hand the stick to Shimo.
I whisper to Dottie, I think the stick had more charisma.
And I'm going to take the stick and say, I'm probably a few steps behind this, but I would say doing what you have to do is not an excuse to work with hags.
Okay.
Scrags?
And the Briganock just kind of looks to you and says, and kind of scowls.
Yeah, I'm taking sides here.
What is that?
It's a candy. Is that you're just, because of your green screen, it's nothing.
Oh, it's
You're eating air.
That's my cousin! What are you doing?
Oh no.
Okay.
It's the filling stick.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with the stick.
Where's the stick? Okay, where's the stick?
Oh gosh.
Well said, Scrags. This is why you're my best friend.
Squirt, do you have anything you want to add?
Squirt is gonna kind of squeak over and says, "Nope."
I will
Good Squirt.
move the stick to the next person.
No, wait. It's my stick. I haven't finished. I'm allowed to say something. I think we should just scrag the witches, kill them all, kill everyone, and go home, is my idea.
I agree with that sentiment.
And loot everything on the way.
I concur.
That one.
Yay,
that one I can
merrily.
agree with.
I'll hand the stick over to Erevis. There you go,
And then I'll hand it to the
acquaintance.
co-red.
And she'll take it from you and say, she'll actually look to Shimo first. Suppose that's true, isn't it? We've been pressed to work too. She apparently uses our hair for something. I don't know what. But it's not of our volition either. You really... She's looking at the Briganock now. You really don't want her around? And just walks up to the pony. Molliver a little bit on guard and just hands it up to the Briganock.
As Molliver like sort of tenses up, I would just put a hand on their shoulder, just to be like at ease.
All right, cool. We're gonna get a roll back
Spirits,
again.
These two.
Yeah, we're gonna get another roll. Actually, we're gonna get 2 rolls from the chat, if you will, because with all of your help, these negotiations, you actually all said the right things. Shimo didn't mean to, but he did. So,
Shimo said, "Fuck your shit." This
yeah,
is
but it's with
stupid." And then
advantage, so we
all
get another
win.
roll on this too. So that we're gonna watch for a second roll from the chat to see how the NPCs go. Ooh, it's tough. It's a 9 and a 7.
Oh my god.
I got to go check my statistics for charismas on these creatures just to see where we're at.
Probably not
'Cause
very high.
this is
Do another one just for the teehees, and hopefully we win.
Oh, gosh.
Good thing I prepped Fireball today.
Kills everybody.
Yeah.
where is my Corrids? Oh dear. Let's try searching this then. Corrid. I need my Corrid. There. Creatures.
Oh,
do I-
Dottie, it's so quirky
Oh,
when you burn
Argento.
people alive.
There we go. How marvelous.
Oh, teehee, what a funny sentimental.
Ooh, nope. That's not pretty. She's okay. Corrids have a -1. Okay, so
No.
she hands it back to the Briganock, and who's
They're all
now
a bunch of wretched creatures.
who's now just kind of looking over at you, Shimo, and when you have your friends and no strength, one friend taken. I don't think you fully understand.
Well,
But
Yunlil would give forgiveness and tell you the right things to do. But Reliquate demands vengeance, and it's time to fight.
You don't
All
have
right.
the stick. Take the stick.
I will take the stick and say, I think what my friend is trying to say that the time for being passive has passed, and I'll look around at the much enlarged group of people. I don't think there's a better time to fight back. And I will try and roll persuasion if I have to.
yeah, you can do that.
Thank goodness it's you and not me.
Would point out we do has a secret weapon.
What's that?
Okay,
A
before
secret weapon.
15.
what's Scrags? Carry on.
We does has a secret weapon that the hags is a little bit angry that they've lost.
Do I get advantage?
And I do believe
'Cause-
that Elred has it. Elred, do you have the own?
And Alred's gonna pull it out of his chest. Yeah, I do, and pulls out what appears to be this spiraled. It looks like a bone that's about yay long. It kind of got this spiraled contexture, but it also looks somewhat porous as well to the people who have high perception on it. And just kind of pulls it out. We're trying to find its owner. Their mate lives in thither, and well, we've been told we need to do something about the Granny Nightshade, who is Bitterend's sister, kind of like trying to explain things to the Korred and the Briganock, who's Bitterend's sister, apparently turned it into a flying horse that she rides on. And the co-reds, Queen Ergantel will say, huh, like Bitterend's hover thingy. Okay.
They all seem to have ways of traversing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got a rocking horse that rocks and flies.
And Elred just kind of holds up the horns, like, which is actually a unicorn.
Yeah.
If I may,
So-
The first one had a lily pad.
We could just fireball that thing.
Mm-hmm.
if I may intrude, if we have a means to fight them, and we now have the people to fight them, why aren't we doing so? It seems trivial that all of this is being preoccupied when we could have got rid of the problem
All right,
already.
so now with that statement, I'm going to get the chat to help the Briganock roll with advantage now, because you guys have now helped the Briganock along, because that's actually the field that the Briganock have. So chat, one more roll call, because it's actually working again.
I
Oh,
would
no.
point out that 3 hags is not good. 2 hags is a bit better. You want to find 1 hag by herself and stabby.
I'm fairly good at stabbing in the dark, but I'll look
Yeah,
over
we don't want to do 3
at
at
our
once.
group.
That's not good.
I can only see one other that might be good at it.
And so Obud, listening to all this, stick. Where's the stick?
I
Oh,
don't know.
Feeling stick?
And looks down towards Arganton from the pony. Says, "Oh, Molliver, just, Your Majesty, let's talk a moment. And offers her the other end of a stick, trying to balance himself to do so. Offers her the other end of the stick. Let's avoid distraction and talk just you and I. Molliver will watch. You can have somebody watch too if you would like. And Queen Argantel, kind of takes the other end of the stick and almost lifts the Briganock up by accident off the pony. Says, "I'll take the dragon-looking one." And they just, and between the 4 of them, they all just kind of step a little ways away from the rest of your party, leaving you with Gleam, Amador, and no, not Molliver. Molliver's not there. Molliver's carrying on. So with leaving you 5 with Gleam and Amador.
Well, I think that went fairly well.
Better than I thought.
At least they're
Not the
talking.
Not the disaster I normally harbinge.
There's still
That's good.
time for it to screw up.
Don't jinx
I
it.
never asked this. You three came to this place, the Feywild, through the circus?
Me and Shimo had an adventure together, actually.
The grandest of adventures.
We shimmied down a rope, just the two of us, me on his back, him glistening in the sunlight. And then we almost got killed, so we scurried back up the rope.
And that brought you to the Feywild, did it?
That was our first encounter. It was my
Yeah.
favorite. Honestly, my favorite encounter.
You never forget your first.
Not to
And
admit
what
it, but we could have died.
I already know
Magic.
Dottie's adventure that brought her here, but what about you, Volric?
Not much to say. I wanted an adventure and I got one.
Why is a cloud here, though? I don't understand.
Some clouds like to drift away from the pack.
So
You was kicked out, wasn't you? You didn't drift anywhere. You was kicked out of your pack. I knows
pack?
you.
Okay, little one. You keep barking.
Well,
I'm not a dog.
Chihuahua.
I'm going to cast a spell.
oh god.
I was waiting for it.
And when I'm pull down my hood, I am going to be an Air Genasi.
Ah, yes.
Told you I wasn't a dog.
Ooh.
One up.
Ooh, scary.
Roll a insight check if you wish, Volric.
I happily will.
That's a waste of a spell slot, isn't it?
What's your
You've done it more
DC?
than once.
What's your DC?
Fuck!
15.
It's actually surprising to see another Air Genasi here. There,
Yeah.
for that matter, you haven't seen any other Genasi, let alone Air Genasi.
And I assume you're medium size, Air Genasi.
He's the
I'm
rare
one of the new
small.
improved ones from MOTM.
Okay, now
I'm
you
a
get to roll with
small
advantage. Now you get to roll your insight with advantage.
Please, please.
With a plus
D&D
4.
Beyond, give me something. Give me something. I cannot
Lower,
be tricked
lower.
by this rat. Give me something.
14. What's your DC, Scrags?
15.
Oh, you're muted. I can't
My
hear.
DC is 15. 15.
15. It seems so outlandish that there's such a thing as an improved Genasi. But okay, you've had a bit of a run of things. Maybe there is.
I've been out of the loop for a while, so do excuse me if I don't know all the full lingo, but do you perhaps want to elaborate a little bit more on your improvements?
Shut up! I'm gonna run away. Hiding behind Shimo's foot wraps, I suppose. The wrapped kind of trouser legs.
I will.
Leave me alone.
I will
This out.
look over at the group that's talking next to us and say, "Do you think peace will win the day?"
No.
I hope so. And if not, Fireball will.
Well, of course it will,
Oof.
because we promised to kill the witches. The eggs.
I think it's a uniting factor.
Under the light of Yunlil, we have already won.
Everyone knows the enemy of my enemy is also another enemy I gotta stab. Pretty easy, really.
That's not what they say.
Can
but
you repeat
all
that one
right.
more time?
The enemy of me enemy is me enemy.
I don't think that's how
Interesting.
truly it works.
No,
Well,
that's how
actually,
it works.
every
Everyone's my
group but
enemy.
us is every group but us is Scrag's enemy. So technically, that is accurate.
Scrags, that's very goblin theology or philosophy.
Intake of breath. What did you just say?
That is very similar to the things I've heard goblins say. All people are their enemies.
I've never. You're no longer one of my acquaintances. You're down on the rung. You're
Yeah,
what's
I'm
another word for a lesser acquaintance?
I'm weeping. I think acquaintance is like the lowest bar.
Oh, I
Um,
know. It's a
from your
bitch.
from your from your pocket, you also hear Squirt. I think it's enemy.
You're one of me enemies. The next time I cast a spell, you better not be within this amount of feet of me.
Volric
I'll
starts checking
hurt
his
you.
nails. Starts checking his nails. It's like it looks like the dog does have some bite left in him.
This
Molliver
dog's got
and
teeth.
Elred kind of start walking back over to you guys, and Molliver just looks mostly at Erevis at first, and then kind of around the rest of us. I think we're going to find peace here.
Holy shit!
I
I'm
mean,
shocked. How were you going to get past the noise problem?
It was thanks to the feeling stick.
I
really,
believe so.
they just ignored you. Honestly, they just started working things out for themselves. I think
That's
Wait,
impossible. We
ignore
were
us.
such a huge help.
We were so helpful.
Poppy, put away the fireball. We don't
Oh,
need it.
sorry.
and
Out of habit.
it's I find it's been a long time since I've seen people like us actually do peace. I usually just smack shit. Anyway,
I mean, that's probably why you don't see a lot of peace. Just putting it out
Pieces.
there. Pieces.
Just
Yes,
peace.
that's correct.
That's very true. Well, it sounds to me like honestly they're kind of getting along.
They have a common enemy.
Well, that they do, and they also have a common distaste for you. But that sometimes helps.
What?
For Dottie?
No,
For me?
no, for the whole group of you.
Oh, that
Ha,
makes sense.
it's not
actually.
just me.
That makes sense.
Excuse me. I've just met these people milliseconds ago. I have done nothing wrong.
I
You
am
made
the
such a great impression.
I am the
Thank
steward
you.
of this high court, and I demand an apology.
Oh, good lord!
We
Are
got
Right.
stuffs
forming our
to
own
do.
court?
Can we not go and do the stuffs that we got to do?
Well, I
Please.
think give them a little bit. Just let them solidify whatever relationship is going to happen with them next. Because what you told me is that you want the Koreds to help you fight. But you also need to get to the hags at Motherhorn. And Obed has told me that he knows of a way where the hags won't know where that you're coming.
Ooh.
Really?
And if they
A
are
tactical advantage.
if they're in peace with each other, they might even let the Koreds into the mines, which would be incredible.
Is that the way? The secret way to the eggs? Through the mines?
I assume so. Obud knows it. And Obud, I haven't ever seen Obud out of the mines. This is already a weird day as it is.
But
Well, it seems like progress
Tell
is
me I'm
being
not a
made.
sister.
I don't know if we're ready to take on 3 eggs
Well,
Oh, I'm very excited for this.
simultaneously thingy.
then you'll have to have your wits about you. And
Is
me.
there any way that we can draw at least one away? We need to
You shying
plan.
away from a good fight?
Elred's gonna speak here and kind of speak up here, Elvis. Oh, I'm sure there is. We have Dottie with us. It's quite possible that Dottie's a bit of a distraction from time to time. And he thinks to you, Dottie, and says, in your head, Dottie, you hear, I think Oliver really wants to go with you. But then somebody needs to stay back in case you happen.
In case I happen, what I do?
Listen, Dottie, you know darn well that you blow shit up. And if all of us are in it, that's bad.
I haven't blown anything up in at least 5 days.
3 days, I've been
Did
counting.
you not?
3 days
Did
since the
you-
last incident.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, you did a travel. Yeah, it's been an Elven week, but Elven day, but we haven't seen people. You're about to see people.
Did you not only mention not that long ago that you had started a forest fire?
Now, Volric, I'm just gonna. This whole conversation is
happen.
actually just happening inside their
Ah,
head.
shame.
Yeah, that's all good.
Shame.
I'll stay back.
Okay.
I'll watch that the Briganock and the Korad still get along. And Molliver can take my place.
Okay, well, that's what you want.
I think it's what I need to do. I think you need somebody who's
Alright.
more ready, more willing to pick up a weapon when the time comes. I don't tend to go straight in. I tend to look first. You need somebody who's just going to go straight in.
And that's Molliver. Okay. I think you're right.
Well,
And this is all happening in their head. Anything else that you guys are saying to each other?
no, Scrags, we can't kill each other. A death match between you and Volric is not what we should be doing right now.
I mean, we
I'm
can't
quite
kill each
excited.
other yet. I mean, there's always
I
after
would-
the fight.
I would be quite excited to see how this other one actually brawls.
Oh, I don't think you do, mate.
Ugh.
I'll crush you.
Aw, what are you gonna do?
In
Bite
my
off ankle?
127 years of life, would I have seen someone who looks or moves like Volric? Can I ascertain as Erevis his class?
His class. Oh, okay. Roll an insight check.
Alright.
Well, it's clear he's got weapons. He's a cloud.
He's definitely got weapons, so he's probably
I'm-
martial.
Oh
Yeah, I
armed.
can. I can totally do that.
Okay, let me
Natural
give.
20,
But what do you think he is?
22.
What do you think he is, son?
Ah!
What do you think
That's
he is?
a
You've got
natural
to
20,
give
okay.
your opinion. Describing his armor. You looking at his. Are you wearing armor?
I'm wearing leather armor.
Leather armor. So what do you think he is?
Well,
I'm assuming it's he, him, or is it something else?
He, they.
He, them.
He, they. Okay.
well, they definitely look like they are dexterous and they can move and have an air of a hunter about them.
It's pretty close, actually. What seems a little bit different about this one is their demeanor, which really kind of gives it away. Yes, they are a hunter of sorts, but they do not appear as somebody who would be who would normally find themselves in forested areas or in even on the sea. This is a person who finds their quarry most comfortably in shadowy places. So for Shimo,
Mm.
from your perspective, when you guys were going through thither, you got the sense that Volric was on high alert. Volric is much more comfortable now that he is in Yon.
Question. Does he appear to have any bow or arrows?
He does.
He,
Does.
He has a
drew,
massive
he
long
drew on
when
us the moment we got
when
here.
when he threatens Scrags, is there one weapon in particular that he starts to finger that he's about to draw?
Oh no, for him threatening, this is more like a massive joke to him, so he's not taking any of this seriously.
Okay.
But you do but he is on the thigh, like on his I would say his right thigh has two daggers, like sort of like lined up at the upper thigh.
2 daggers and a bow. Interesting.
Hmm.
And do you have any other weapons that you should know about?
Well, I have a crowbar.
I'll take
That's
long
a good
bow,
weapon.
some daggers, and a crowbar.
With which he
When I
will
really
pry
wanna
the
get
truth out of
brave.
you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So they, and as this kind of conversation comes to a bit of a close, it's kind of being brought to a close because you start to notice Argantel and Obud are Obud being much smaller than Argantel, which is saying something because Argantel isn't exactly tall herself. A little bit more rotund, but not tall. Kind of start ambling themselves back over to the group. And Molliver turns around and helps Obud back up onto the pony, and Obud says, so it's been agreed that up until today, we had no clue what we were talking about when we were talking about each other. That much is clear. I think that we are going to be able to get along, but we're going to have to teach all the others. So this might take a bit, but I know you guys are in a rush. And I don't think that a rush is going to do this properly. I think, and Argantel, tell me if I'm wrong. We need to go talk to our families first. She to hers, me to ours, and let them know that we're okay. So, can you give us a day?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, this went pretty successfully, so what if we break out the champagne glasses and celebrate tonight?
Well, there's an idea.
You want them to get home, not drunken and
Yep.
passed out
Honestly,
somewhere.
if you want to help Corets and Breaker not get along, a little ale couldn't hurt.
And
No,
I
Dottie,
can bring
don't-
my family recipe.
No,
Oh
no,
no, they'll
no,
die.
no, Dottie. Please.
Dottie, roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, after what Scraggs just said and what Eris just said, yeah, no, disadvantage.
No.
They will
Lame.
act. The co-reds might be fine. The Brigandox would die.
Wow, that's a pretty
Wow.
good roll with disadvantage. That's a
High
17 with
charisma.
disadvantage. Yeah, nicely done. Okay, so, holy crap, look at that. That's a +8 on charisma. Are you kidding? That's awesome.
I have
okay,
a 20
so
charisma.
that is brilliant. What is it? I'm looking now. Oh no. What did you? I'm not failing. I promise you. Okay, fine. Also, to add to this, Sky Guy just redeemed some of our guild points, which he's been banking up for forever, to make me automatically fail on my next roll. Which thankfully I haven't had my next roll yet. So, but the next one fails. Okay, so, he looks to you. He looks to you. I wonder if they've just got weaker stomachs. Quilar Gansel, how strong are your stomachs? And she says, well, of course we can stomach anything a Briganock can. is that I think that should be the test of our friendship, if that is what we're to have.
Oh,
Great
I'll brew
idea,
up a
Your
batch.
Majesty.
Oh no.
And the next
It's a
one
beer
fails.
off.
Oh my gosh, Sky. No, I gotta do something about that. Okay, so the for the purposes of the storytelling, I think I'm gonna kind of advance a few things here. So what's gonna happen is the Briganock is Obud and Molliver and Elred will all actually go into the mines, whereas actually no, Elred won't go into the mines. The Briganock and Molliver will go back into the mines, do their thing. Elred is going to go with Queen Argantal back to the Co-Reds, do their thing. That leaves you guys with a chance to do whatever the heck you want for a day. What would you guys be called to do? It is based off of, because there's no sunlight, you don't really know what time of day it is. There is no sense of daylight or hours, just what your body is telling you. And so for the most part, your bodies are telling you that it's about midday.
Dottie will be brewing up her secret concoction of booze for the celebration.
Who wants to hear a story? 10 minutes, you'll feel much better afterwards.
I would rather choke on my own vomit.
Can I start a lesson?
Yes, you can. And I will
Okay.
start up a 10-minute story about the time I was trying to mitigate a dispute between two ornery half-orcs who ended up killing each other afterwards. After the 10 minutes, even though Volric says he wouldn't like it, he does feel a lot healthier afterwards, as you gain 9 temporary hit points.
Yay.
The story for about
Same
9
with
minutes spins into this small, boring explanation of the depth of the conversation that these two half-orcs had and we're supposed to have at Erebus's behest. But in the last minute, he describes the battle, and that's when you perk up immediately. And I'm like, oh, okay, this story was actually not all that bad.
Yeah.
It was like The Hobbit. It took too many chapters to actually get going,
Yeah.
but once it got going, it was pretty good.
The Hobbit is perfect. Don't even.
I was waiting for that.
Love
Okay.
All right. I think, I want to lean down to Scrags and be like, Scrags, I know I left you, but it was for good reason. Watch this. And I just fire like a flurry, not actually use flurry of blows, of sunbolts into the air, just leaning back.
Okay.
What?
Oh, the DM automatically fails.
Oh.
That was honestly, Sky's make the DM fail was kind of clutch right now. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, Shimo.
Was he going to
I want to
set a
say
tree
I
on fire?
didn't metagame that. I totally forgot.
No, you told you show it all off, and these sunbeams just come blasting out, and you can see beams of all of you guys can see this clear as day, literally. Beams of light just kind of do these this strange little strobe rave kind of effect across the sky, while the lightning bolts are still flashing above your heads too, and leaving the thunderous sounds behind.
All right.
Shimo.
It's gonna be a rave tonight.
No.
What
we
the
need
hell
to
was that?
Still keep a low profile until the time is right.
Oh, there's lightning. Everyone can expect a few sunbolts at the same time.
We
Can you-
we are in a dark place. I'm finally feeling comfortable with this place. And you decide to shoot out beams of literal sun into the
I
air.
feel like young Lil needed a little bit of a high five in this area.
Shimo, please.
Not the time to high five your god.
Can you only shoot those lights from your hands?
No, actually, I can shoot them from my feet as well.
Let me see.
I was expecting somewhere
Can you
else.
shoot them out of your ass?
Oh gosh.
Dottie, don't be so
These are the
crude.
questions we need answered.
I
Don't be
know.
so crude. Can you shoot them out of your ass? Come on.
The
do
end,
it.
like out of game, the answer is no. because that's not an unarmed attack. But in game, Shimo just starts like wiggling his ass to find out.
How do we know that butt checking someone isn't an attack?
I want to what I want to see is who is better at playing the flute, and I will hand Shimo my pan flute.
No.
And
Oh, but
say,
of course.
I
I'm
want to
in
hear.
this competition.
Yes, I want to see who's better between Dottie and Shimo, because I never got to really hear Shimo and his melodious uh, playing.
He
I
fails
turn
every
around and
time.
I turn around and I go,
Let me just adjust my
Do you hate
flute
me?
stats because I have one more proficiency bonus than I did before, which I should not have in my flute.
That's
Um,
correct.
Let's see.
And it's still with disadvantage, right? Yeah, okay.
Performance.
10.
Do you hate me?
Jeez.
All he's been
So-
doing has been talking about this flute.
As Dottie and Shimo are playing, Shimo is trying to take the lead. And playing this lilting thing that honestly, Volric, you will recognize through almost like traveling art shows coming through where you've been in various locations in Wesmia. But also, Dottie, you'll recognize it. It's got a little bit of a strain. It's like, best way I could describe it is like Americanized Japanese music. But in this case, it's like Wesmianized halfling music. So, and that's what Shimo's playing. But here's the challenge: Shimo keeps changing the key signature, and makes it, and so it's in C major, and then it's in C sharp major, and then it's in B minor, and then it just gets really wonky. And at some point in time, it goes into Dorian mode, and for all those musicians out there, you're like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And Dottie, you are with a 19 mostly able to keep into the same thing and harmonize it. Every once in a while, he changes a key signature. Okay, fine, switch. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I want to sound really, really good. And as it turns out, Shimo makes this particularly strange, clamorous nonsense. But as soon as Dottie starts playing with it, it sounds kind of okay.
I've never been into interpretive music, but that's not too bad.
I hated every millisecond of this.
Everyone
I'm gonna
knows
lean down to Dottie.
two people blowing flutes is better than one. Everyone knows.
I'm gonna lean down to Dottie and say, "You played excellently. I'm sorry that I'm so much better."
Actually, Shimo, you actually would feel as though she did not play well. She couldn't keep up with you.
I mean, I'm just so much better. I'm only saying she played well to boost her confidence.
Shimo doing interpretive jazz or something?
Checks.
A la Anchorman.
It was certainly interpretive.
Are you wanting to try and figure out what song it was he was playing?
I just assumed that he's just rolling around, randomly blowing into different parts of the flute.
I want you to roll for me. Bitch is proof. I want you to I want you to roll for me. Yeah, let's roll a history check.
Really? You're
It's
gonna
not-
Yep.
Oh,
ask?
I just got proficiency in that.
You're gonna ask the human
Mary has a little lamb.
cleric roll a proficiency?
I
for
am.
history?
And you're gonna roll
so
hot now
slow.
just because I said
6.
that, right? 6? Yeah. You don't recognize the tune.
Well, that's a pity.
All right.
Well, do you think we could find
Well, Squirrel,
that bee by the end of the day?
Amador stands up for the first time. It was kind of torn away from me in the tornado. I don't even know where to begin to look.
So that could be anywhere.
Here, Buzzy.
I
Where
don't
is
think
its
that's going to
home?
help.
Maybe you'll go straight home.
I'm going to venture to guess that Shimo did not see a tiny bee flying out of the tornado when he was watching.
Well, you did roll a history check.
All right, let's do this.
Can I assist
Yes,
him
make it with
this?
advantage for sure.
Thank God.
Okay.
Thank bejeebus.
Nat
Whoa.
20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Okay, so, when thinking back to when you first saw it, now that you think about it, this tornado was particularly odd. It didn't really have, it was just air. It wasn't debris within the air. And there was, of course, I mean, the debris was Gleam and Amador themselves. There was some debris for them, but like a rock. Pretty good sized boulder, too. That's what you thought it was, anyway. Now that you think about it, there wasn't any other debris. There should have been dust. There should have been water. There should have been something. It was just this one rock and Gleam and Amador.
And do I know what direction it went?
I kind of flew, honestly, kind of tough to say, even within that 20, because it's an ability check, it's not an auto success. It would have been a heck of a roll to get that much information out of it.
Yeah. I guess I really wouldn't chime in then if I didn't know which direction it went.
You know it was in thither when it was tossed out of the tornado.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to chime in and say, well, I did see it in the tornado tossed out in hither.
Hither.
Thither.
Oh, were you talking about that?
Thither.
Thither. Sorry,
Thither.
I missed it. In thither.
Oh
Were you
no.
talking about that weird
Weather one?
boulder?
Oh gods. We might have passed by the bee and not known it. I mean, how long do bees live?
Realistically, 3 days. In this place, could be centuries.
That's true.
Amador's going to say, I don't know about centuries, but she's a very powerful bee. I don't know, was a very powerful bee.
Well, if she isn't thither, I'm sure she's making her way back. What was that thing about the beehive and the beekeeper? And I think there was an ogre at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while.
A bugbear. Keeps the bees.
Oh, bugbear.
Mm.
Do you want to go ask him?
Haven't
I mean,
smacked a
we
bugbear in a
could
while.
free all her children.
Is the bugbear bad?
Yes.
All right, we can go kill that guy.
All right. Really? Like,
Sure, why not? We have nothing else to do.
But I thought we were supposed to get the people drunk tonight.
and the first thing that he does that you've seen Amador do with any sort of enthusiasm is draw his rapier. I'm like, okay, I don't know where he is.
Careful, little one. You might poke your eye out with that.
Oh,
thing.
I don't have an eye left. The tornado did that.
Oh no, is he blind?
Oh.
Let's go. And he just kind of points with the rapier and starts walking and stumbling a
Wait.
little bit along the mountain.
Amador, come here for a second.
I immediately like grab him, like pull him back.
Where's your eye?
I don't know. Get the ghost with. This
Is his
happens from time to
other
time.
eye normal?
He's never had an eye.
Does it grow back?
all you've seen is the petals that were his head kind of open up and close. Right now, it's not actually the petals; it's actually like the.
So he's
the
like literally. I always imagined like a or a sunflower with a face. Like
yeah, it's actually it's an actual dandelion. So lots of yellow petals all over the place, and the petals just kind of move and
Oh my
open.
God.
And at the end, that's how he talks. There's nothing that you've been able to see for eyes, but now that after the tornado, and you're up close enough to see him, all of those petals have been ripped off by the tornado. You can actually even see that he's got some tears up and down his leaf that he uses as his arm, and so the way he speaks now is actually through, if you know flower parts, the sepal, which is kind of like the bottom green petal that holds that usually protects all the other petals. You're just kind of like this little nub
Why,
opens up and talks, and that's how. That's what you
why
see.
do I, when you said like the face in the sunflower, why did I immediately go to the Teletubby sun?
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was. That's where my brain went to. I was like,
That's kinda what
I
I was
gotta go
thinking.
away from this as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Um,
Amador, I think I have something that might look cool on you. Do you want to give it a
Okay.
try?
Sure.
Do we have anyone who can perform surgery?
I have.
Is
a
there
dagger.
anybody proficient with
see.
medicine?
or nature.
Actually, I'll go with that. I
hold
I
on.
would go with that.
Hold on, wait.
I have a wooden eyeball I got
I do
from
not
the
have nature.
hags.
Are any of us
But-
intelligence casters?
Oh my gosh.
I have a decently okay intelligence, but it's not great.
I can't remember if I'm proficient in.
I have a +1 to both of those.
What was it somebody
I
else said
also
in the
have a
chat earlier
+1.
on? A whole party with no bards and no.
No,
Where is it?
I think it was like no bards and no
Yeah.
sorcerers or something.
Bard, no bard, without a bard or an artificer. Yeah,
There
no
it is.
intelligence. There we go. So, how you doing this?
Wizard.
I have a +3 to nature.
Better roll it and see if you can figure out a
Anyone?
way to affix this wooden eye
Oh god.
to Amador's, basically to his anther stalk.
I don't think that's going to work as the way you hope it will.
It can't. I was gonna say it can't hurt, but it might. Let's roll
Okay,
it.
so with a 14, you take the
Probably
eyeball,
will.
and kind of where his mouth is, just it's like a small cup where usually the flower petals come out of on a dandelion. You basically just kind of insert it into this cup and just let it sit. So you now have this dandelion stalk with a wooden eye just kind of there, and it's like, and all you hear is, look.
Oh,
Yeah, no, and I immediately take it out.
No? Okay, let's go. And he just takes the rapier and starts walking down the mountain.
No, and I grab him and pull him back and goes, "No, sit."
But
I think it's best if we accompany you in the vanguard. A great warrior like yourself deserves to be in the center of the formation, as I will put him on my back, like kind of in the back of my vest to kind of keep him safe.
sure, I could use the break. Make sure I keep my strength. Yes, that is exactly what we will do. Onward, vanguard.
We have no idea where we're going. We could be walking in circles for all we know.
And Gleam
What have we
leans
done?
over to you, Volric, and says, "Neither does he."
Brilliant.
All right. Do you
Like-
think you could? And I'll turn to Scrags. Do you have any way to locate or identify bees of some sort? I don't know.
Here's a question: is bees classified as a beast creature?
Yeah.
Actually, yes, it is.
Ooh.
Could I
Ooh.
try and hunt for a bee using my favorite enemy?
I would. Hang on, I gotta read this. I haven't read Favorite Enemy for so long.
Favorite enemy actually coming in handy? What is this?
Oh, I know.
Because you've got a
That's
bee.
against
Yeah,
the
your favorite
rules.
enemy is beasts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I think I have to do like a survival check or something.
Yeah,
to
it is
track
a
the
survival
enemy,
check, yeah.
which I am not proficient in. But I got a 21!
Oh, yeah, nice. Okay.
The first time I rolled decently is to track a goddamn bee, god damn it.
So you, as Gleam leans over to you and says that he doesn't have any clue where it is, you start kind of going with the group and interrogating Gleam for the most part. Where did you meet Amador? How did you come across a bee? Why is a bee important? Etc. Etc. All of these questions. You've kind of learned that this bee. You think there's a strange infatuation between Amador and this bee. Now you know its name. It's called Pollinella. The you also find that it is kind of he hopes to free the rest of her hive eventually, but also he can't free the rest of his hive. Her hive. He's got a rapier and he's a dandelion, but he wants to. The challenge being that she came to him like they came to each other after he had already found Pollinella, and within a day, mind you, though. So at least like she met him after after Pollinella was already freed. So she kind of takes you to the spot or the area where she feels like she met up with Amador the first time. And starts kind of leading you. So the rest of the party, you kind of watching as Volric and Gleam are having this interrogative conversation, and you get those of you who have proficiency with survival, you can already tell he's just trying to get a little bit of information for a starting point. And once he finds that starting point, if he's worth his salt, they're going to be able to find the bee without any hassle. So once you guys get to that location, you guys actually recognize it. It happens to be like about 100 feet away from where you guys first met them too. And not far away at all. And so kind of looking at footprints in the ground with a 21 on the survival check, Volric, you're able to identify a variety of different footprints that have come through here. Kind of line them up with sizes, shapes, and sometimes the distinct features that come with the people that you're currently with. And a dandelion that seems to walk around with nothing but a root ball as its feet. So you're able to quickly, because everybody else is shooed, find the root ball tracks and start following the root ball tracks back about 100 feet. Oh, wait a second. Nope, that's not the direction it goes. All the feet are pointing the wrong way. Turn back around. Go back further into Yawn.
Do we have a picture of the dandelion?
Well, not as the dandelion is right now, but you do certainly have a picture of the dandelion. Let me put things up here so the world can see this too. Let's bring us up here. Huzzah. Okay, so let me bring up my dandelion. Let me find it here. Amador. With a little bit of artistic license coming from me. Nope, that's not the one I want. I want this guy here. Here we go. This is what... Come on. Yeah, show to everybody. This is Amador and Pollinella with him.
Nice.
Oh.
Now, all of his petals have been
Adorable.
blown off,
Baby.
right? So,
Hmm.
yeah, there you go. It's a weed. That's totally what it is. It's a weed deck. You're right. Okay.
What a badass.
Yeah, just a little. So,
I'm calling the police.
All right. So with that, you're able to start doing some tracking, and you guys kind of get the sense that Volric actually is pretty okay with this. He's maybe actually beyond to something. And before long, you guys actually do hear a distant sound of what appears to be the hum of a hive.
Wow. Volric, I'm surprised. I didn't think you were so proficient at hunting down bees.
I'm proficient at hunting down anything, not just bees.
Oh, that's good to
What
know.
what challenges you though is that the hum of the bees is no longer lining up with the tracks that you're following. That it seems to be a bit more off to your right than where the tracks are going.
This could be perhaps the hive that they were speaking about.
Hmm. So we're not trying to blow up the hive.
No.
Amador's gonna be like, no, we want them alive.
All right.
We want the
I
hive.
think we're supposed to blow up the bugbear.
Hmm.
All right,
Perhaps
then.
we should sneak in and try and locate this bugbear.
Who are the sneaky ones here?
Four.
Me.
Well,
Well, then me
I
and you are
can
going
help
in.
someone stick. Sneak, not stick. Sneak.
Oh, I forgot I
a
have
feeling
advantage on sneaks because of my new boots.
That's
Well,
right.
then me and what's your name again? Sorry. Like he looks at you.
Erevis the Shy.
Yeah, the shy one. Me and the shy one will go, and we'll sneak and scout ahead.
Wait, Cloud, come over here.
Why?
Let him touch you.
Just come over here.
And he just slowly gets over.
All right,
me
Scrags.
Pull me finger.
Yeah, I'm not touching you. I would get some kind of venereal disease.
Suit yourself. I offered. And I will
And then
not
I
cast.
Yeah, I stand up and I turn around and cast Pass Without Trace.
Oh, fantastic!
Well, that's fine.
I just cast Pass Without Trace on me and the shy one. And like just with a finger snap, you just feel already like sort of more stealthy, more blended into your environment.
Scrags does this once in a while, but seems that's no
I
longer
will
necessary.
cast. I will cast Blessing of the Trickster on Shimo.
Yes.
Okay,
Wait, can
so-
I get Pass Without Trace as well?
Everybody around me gets Pass Without Trace.
Okay, so here's something that's slightly different with if anybody else has cast pass out without a trace on you before, every casting of a spell is more flavored to the person that operates it. So Volric, what does pass without a trace do to them visually, auditorily, existentially?
You all feel like a gust of wind, sort of like as he does a finger snap, a gust of wind sort of emanates from him and blows around you. You can feel this wind sort of like as it's circling around your fingertips and even around your body, like it's sort of comforting, but also absorbing in a sense. It seems to be blending you in. It seems that the very air around you has sort of become more one with the Feywild and more with the surrounding than you have probably ever been before.
All right. And with that, anybody who's going to be going to do the search, roll for me and a stealth check.
With
And
plus
do
10,
I get-
baby.
I get mine with advantage from Scrags, don't I?
That is correct from the blessing. Yeah.
All right.
Now,
And I
is this perception or is this visual or auditory based? Because that matters for my boots.
This stealth
I-
is
I'm just gonna roll with advantage, and you can tell me.
Stealth
Whether or
is
not-
both.
It is mostly. It's going to be both. It's going to be both visual and auditory based.
So, like,
That's a
the boots
26
of
then.
Elvenkind, like,
What
it
did
says
they
if
say?
it involves it, so I would think it's advantage, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's a net 20 to go with it.
I think it helps when you're already stealthed, because it says to track someone you need sound. So when you're
Mhm.
already stealthed, you have advantage to make a stealth check.
Right, and even if not, like I'm still saying,
Mhm.
yeah, you roll with the advantage because I think it makes sense here. And Dodd,
So
Oh,
we have a
mine-
26, we have a 40, and we have a 20. Oh, we have a 30.
okay, so
Yes.
let's see here. So, Dottie and Dottie and Aravis are not going for the search. Is that correct?
Oh, I am.
Oh yeah, no,
I
you
think
guys.
it's me.
I'm not
Dottie
going for the
and
search.
Scrags.
Scrags.
Sorry, yes, yeah, Dottie and Scrags. Okay,
We'll stay
so
behind.
you guys stay behind. Amador stays behind with you, and so does Gleam. And so you guys kind of start skirting around this crag that you kind of hear this. It feels like the hum is coming from around this mountain. Start skirting your way around it. And because you got passed without a trace, that 30 is actually a 40. The Shimo's 20 is actually a 30, and Volric's 16 is actually a 26.
The gods themselves are like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Where did he go? What did he do? Yeah. You guys come around the corner and almost onto this opposite side of this crag, and what you thought at first was a mountain, again, another small valley away, hums and shifts. And what looked like the mountain now actually turns, and you can see this long stick kind of protruding from the side of the mountain with this a massive hive dangling from it and turning to look at you. Well, not to look at you, to turning just to kind of look around, chewing on what appears to be this large chunk of meat. This mountain turns out to be some sort of a giant.
Can I try and figure out what it
Oh.
is, like, specifically?
Roll a perception check.
Dope, 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 dope. Boop. Oh, it would help if I actually hit the correct button.
Perception. Boop.
Boop.
Boop for an
Shit!
11.
Ah,
All right.
boop for 11.
It's dark. The lightning is still kind of blinding you every once in a while, and it is definitely going like directly over your head from where you were currently located. And just because of that, it's tough to just get more than just a silhouette.
Yeah, because of my dark vision too, it probably doesn't help with the flights constantly flashing.
Yes. If you've ever been exposed to direct strobe effect, that's kind of the feeling you're getting right about now.
Ugh.
I would allow either
Pixie fucking
Shimo
shit.
or Erebus to do a quick perception check, though, too, if they wished.
Probably better, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so Shimo's got it already. So with a 16, Shimo, one thing you notice as you're kind of looking up and down this mountain really quickly at the top, where you would expect to see, like, just the top of the mountain, you actually now see the formation of a head. But there's something odd about where those eyes... Nope. Eye is.
Uh-oh.
Just kind of
What is it?
shakes the bone out of his hand, or the meat out of his hand, and just kind of tosses the bone away, and it just scrambles against the ground nearby you. Doesn't go at you, just kind of thrown off willy-nilly to the side, but reaches down.
I'm gonna kind of like make an eye shape to try and signal Cyclops.
I'll say that Volric kind of gets it from being with Shimo for a while, and he's like, and then he sort of just like mouths the words, "Get the others."
You couldn't see Erebus anyway, but
Nope.
He
Not with a 40.
kind of whispers, "I'll be back," and then you still don't see it.
There's a ghost here.
Says the urge Nazi. Okay.
And I'll sneak with my now 30 back to them and bring them closer and fill them in on the Cyclops that we just found.
While they're doing that, can I bonus action Hunter's Mark?
Yes, you can.
Dope. I have my spell slot done. Dingy dang.
I've always wanted to see a Cyclops.
You're gonna get a
Cyclops
good
here.
look.
Yay!
Amador's skin is like, it's not a Cyclops, it's a bugbear.
I think the bugbear might have been eaten.
That's not
Shit,
good.
I never even... I didn't even get that.
Okay.
I
It's
could
a-
be wrong, but
it's a-
that's a definite possibility.
Okay, well, whatever. I still think we could do this. And just takes out the rapier and starts kind of trudging forward. Okay, where you came from.
I just hope this isn't a Scrag situation.
Scrags, are you going
Or
to...
not Scrags. What? I hope this isn't a. What's that one character from Critical Role that got squished by a giant?
Oh. Oh, yeah, you're
And he's
thinking...
not gonna just get insta killed.
Squirt! Yeah, I know who you're
Squirt.
talking about. Yeah.
Squirt.
Squirt!
He lasted 5 minutes.
That was probably one of the best cameos of all time. I'm going to admit that one. Okay, Scrags, are you going with them too?
I thought
You're
me and
muted,
Daddy and stuff were staying behind.
Well,
No,
they
we're
come
gonna
back to
go
get
over
you.
Fighting.
They came back.
Okay, then I'll go with them.
Okay, so I'm gonna get. You're gonna need to roll a new one now, Erebus, and Dottie and Scrags, for stealth checks.
Alright.
Still with advantage, Erebus.
So 23.
Does my pacify trace still affect?
How many people could it affect?
But you have to nominate when you cast it.
I'll go for a learning
Oh,
experience
Cincy.
on this one. How many people can you do?
I'm going to see. Boop boop.
It's like 6
10.
people, I think. Is it 10?
It says you and your companions within 30 feet.
Then all of
Yeah,
them.
but you assign it when you cast the spell.
Yep.
So if he moved back to us within 30 feet and then move on, we'd be in it.
Can I put up mage armor before we walk over?
Yes, you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Why can't I find? No, there it is. Okay. I'm just reading it real quick.
Yeah, it's each creature I choose within 30 feet of me,
Yeah,
including
Which
me.
you did say that
plus
everybody
them.
around you, so I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So, then that gives us a 33 on Erebus, a 21 on Dottie, and a 23. My creature cannot see you guys. Period. So you guys start walking up back, same kind of following the same line. No rocks crumbling out from beneath your feet, and you guys walk around this crag, and you see. And this loud belch comes from this creature that is massive in front of you. One eye, holding onto a stick with a humming hive.
I am going to have 3 arrows already knocked and ready to fire.
All right, and that
I'm going to try and get as close as I can. And so he's holding the hive?
he's holding the hive on the end of a stick.
Ugh.
Before we get too close, do you guys want to start with a bang?
Wait.
Absolutely.
I want to
It
try
is holding the
something.
hive. Let's remember this.
I'm
So
going to have
You could
a
probably aim it,
second-
though.
I'm going to have
Yeah.
a secondary Scrags go out in front of the creature.
So, real quick though, if we do a surprise round, do we all get an action in that?
It's
Or
an
is it a
action for a surprise round, yeah.
Or is it a single? action and then.
It depends on how you set yourselves up. But I think
Mhm.
that will give us a perfect opportunity to think about that between sessions.
Yay!
As you are about to face
Fantastic.
down a Cyclops beekeeper of sorts. Thank you very much. Welcome to our returning and new players.
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Spencer,
Love it,
your
love it.
beard is immaculate.
Thank you.
I can't grow
I
a
grew
beard,
it myself.
Beards are... I can't either.
I have like no body hair. Anyway, fantastic.
I hit a button I wasn't supposed to hit there. I hope you guys can still hear me.
I
Yes.
can.
Yay!
can.
Okay, cool. Cool. Hey,
Excellent session, everyone. I had a great time.
thank you very much.
It was amazing.
Welcome
Bye-bye.
back again.
It was
We're
fun.
going to do a raid. So what I'll do, and my raids take a long time to actually enforce, or to actually enable. But in the meantime, I am going to do some quick announcements. First announcement up: Sky Guy, who happened to be sitting in the chat for a time, is up for a Dutch Streamer Award. So if you wanted to do so, go find. There is the link in the Discord to help him get the kudos he deserves, because he is doing some pretty awesome stuff in his stream, including A While Beyond the Witchlight, where the tornado did not take him to thither. The tornado took him to Barovia instead.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shift. Another announcement for you is that we have a new DM in our midst, Caffeinated Arcade, who is looking for some new players for their homebrewed setting in Alain. So, am I saying that right? Alain? Alain?
It's all in. It's kind of weird.
You're all in. Okay, we're
All
all
in.
in for all in. Okay, good to know.
All in.
So-
All in.
Yay!
If you
Nice.
wanted to get in on that game, we'll be posting stuff about that in the Discord here shortly, so watch out for that. There's also a shout out to one of my in real life players who's done an announcement in the Discord as well. They're doing a fundraiser stream. It's an all day thing, something like 9 a.m. till midnight on Saturday coming up, and it is a fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Network, focusing on the Alberta Children's Hospital, because that's where we're at. So if you wanted to help out with that, that would be fantastic. And of course, if you like what you see and enjoy what you see on Windy J D&D Guild, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. All of that stuff helps to, pay for us to be able to do a little bit more of this as well. And it's very much appreciated, your support in keeping the guild alive and moving forward. Who shall we raid?
Come back and watch Falric die, you guys. Next episode, can
That's
he
right.
die?
Oh, I guess I should do the episode count. So we have our Windy J random encounters start up again on Thursday. And then on Friday, the Olivon Chronicles carry on, where we discover what happens with Dead Bob and Dead Frar. And maybe there's a new person. Yeah, they're dead. So Volric's like, what's going on? Yeah, we got a couple of characters who are now dead. I feel like we may just raid Tales of Initiative. They have a little bit of a lower count here today, but that doesn't mean anything, because they can still produce some pretty awesome content. So I am going to set up that raid. But in the meantime, thank you everybody for joining us. And we will see you for Witchlight next week. Oh, Legends of Zelda. That's tomorrow night too, right? Legend of Zelda Echoes kicking off again tomorrow night. So tune in to see Verod here on the Windy J D&D Guild too. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff going on. Woot! Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, chat.
We're so busy.
Thank you, players. Thank you, world. Have a great one.